now. We're starting the
Okay,
stream.
it's cool. This is still in the tweet zone.
Mr. Escalito.
So I'm gonna do that thing.
Oh, it's starting. Here we go. Streamed live 33 minutes ago. Nope, it's streaming now.
Yeah, been streaming for half an hour.
Hello and welcome to a special episode of us being in the same household because restrictions have been lifted. Woo! How fortunate of us. Well, not lifted in the sense of like fully lifted, but for those unaware, we had people not allowed to visit, people not allowed to do sorts of things. So hello and welcome. Techman Pat here, Pat and
Game with Casper here from.
So
just Casper.
We're a bit early. We're about 9 minutes early. So what we're going to do is we're going to tweet out and let people know that we're live. So we're going to grab the links and say, "Hey, folkies, we are online." We've got some great topics for everyone today. We've got stuff to do with the announcement by the PlayStation 5 announcement.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Big deal. So we're going to talk about the Unreal Engine. I think that's going to be really exciting. G'day, Raul.
Hey, Raul. How's it going, man?
The dog's coming through. And we've got
there goes
Tony
the dog.
Hawk's. We've got Ghost of Tsushima. We've got some fun stuff happening with the, I guess, what do you call it? The Epic Store? Is it the Epic Store? What's the company behind Epic Store? Epic Store.
Yeah.
And we've got some summer gaming news that came out. And we've got some fun stuff happening at SpaceX, which I'm actually particularly excited to talk about. So we're going to tweet out that tweet that I needed to do. Have you got that link, Casper, that I can share with everyone?
Yeah, man, I got that link.
Got that link.
Hold on, it's just going to be pasted.
And for those... Oh, no, of course not. No music to narrate and no NBN bashing. This is mostly, and if you're tuning in for the first time, what we talk about in these shows on Saturdays is mainly gaming news and a bit of tech that's happened for the past week. Casper and I get together and we sort of discuss it in a bit more detail that we can do in like a YouTube video, and I think that's probably what people come here and chat with us. So feel free to put some comments in the bottom there, and you can see it popping up on the screen just here, and we can hey Maddie, good to see you, mate. We'll chat about it. So why don't we... Should we get into it? I think we're 8 minutes early. I'm just going to share this now.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm just going to give you a bit of an insight to my week.
Yes, please do.
I saw this movie. Yeah, I know. This is so exciting. My week is thrilling. I saw this movie throughout the week that really stood out to me. It's called The Platform. I'm just mentioning it because I think it's something you'd be... Have you
watched
seen it?
I've watched it.
Oh,
yes, we can talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so no spoilers for the crowd here, but just to give you a bit of a synopsis for anyone that hasn't seen it. So imagine this. No NBN bashing. So imagine this. A guy wakes up in this prison. It's like a concrete prison, right? A square prison. And there's a guy on the other side of the room. Mm-hmm. And in the center of the room, there is like a cutout square hole. Now, as you approach the hole, you look downwards and you see layers and layers of identical rooms. If you look up, you see exactly the same. Just layers and layers of identical rooms. And what happens within this area, within this confined prison, is that there is a platform that travels all the way from the top floor to all the way to the bottom floor, and it stops at about 2-minute increments at every single layer. Yeah. And what's on the platform is there is a large feast that has been set up and designed to attempt to feed everybody in this facility of the amount of floors that we don't know until, further throughout the movie. And these prisoners, they just have 2 minutes to really dig into this food as much as they can to feed themselves each day. And you can just imagine the kind of behaviors that would kind of emerge.
Because as it goes down from the top, the feast is perfect. It's mint condition from the top.
It's mint, yeah.
And as it goes down to each level, the next pair of people that are imprisoned get to eat the bits that are left over from the top. So you can imagine as you get to the bottom, how bad it's going to get.
You've got nothing left but scraps. And I guess we can leave it to your imagination, the type of, behaviors that would come from, something like that when you get near the bottom.
Highly recommend it. It's not in
Yeah.
English, but you can put like the English voiced one, and it's pretty good. Like the dubbing is really good. The characters all have different names, and it is one of those movies that has a lot of meaning because the end. Whoa! Can't spoil it.
Can't spoil
it's
it.
Highly recommended if you're in a mood to get your mind blowing. But yeah, and what else? How's your streaming going, Casper? Because I think that's been a big one for you lately.
Oh yeah, look, Twitch streaming is just slow and steady. It's just something fun that I'm doing on the side. I've recently finished playing Nier Automata, and I've been publishing those videos on YouTube. If gaming is something that you're interested about or you have a strong passion on it, come and jump into the stream on Twitch, Game with Casper, and come and hop in and, let's talk some games on the YouTube channel as well. Would love to hear it. Next one coming up is Dark Souls 3, Nightmare of a Game. It's something that I fear intensely, but I'm looking forward to that.
I'm just going to reply to some folks here. The movie was called The Platform. I've put it in there and whatnot. So in regards to my week, I have been extremely busy trying to put out some videos and make some videos, but literally everything was going fine this whole week up until about 10 minutes ago when my server died, and then my dad's like, oh, the server's not working. And then I'm like, I'm sure it is, no reason why. And then, bloody hell, it's dead. So I'm going to spend about half a day to try and fix that. So, you know what? Let's get into it. We've got some really good topics. Thank you very much for everyone for joining us. We've got, should we repeat the stuff? No, let's just get into it. It's going to be a surprise what's on here. If you tuned in the first time earlier on, about 10 minutes ago, which we started already, you would have known. So let's get into it.
Those guys.
And welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us. So let's start with the biggest news of the last few days, and that was the release of GTA5 for free on the Epic Store. And what do you think happened? What do you think happens when you release an amazing game for free and you're not ready for it?
I think everybody comes in running, man, and tries to get a piece of the action. It's huge. I mean, it's just a shame that I bought the game like a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
I would have loved a 3 copy of it, but yeah, it's massive, and I think the servers just went bust. Right?
They crashed.
They crashed big time.
I don't know how, because I got on and I clicked accept, and I wasn't even like rushing towards it. I think at some point I was like, oh yeah, I better get GTA for free. I already have it on PlayStation 3. No, hang on, 4. 3.
Yeah. Oh,
3,
yeah, because it came out
PlayStation 3,
yeah.
and I've got it on PC already, and I paid $80 again for it back when it came out on PC for the first time. And now I'm just like, well, I might as well have it again on the Epic Store. Like, why not?
Yeah, it's free, right?
It's free.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people did that. But for those, actually, Devolution there goes, Pat was running the servers. I think that's why my server's dead. I had all the GTAs on it.
Oh, right.
Dude, the download size is what actually freaks me out. Every time I look to go, oh, what game should I play? I haven't installed GTA for a while. Yeah. It's a 90 gig download.
Oh, wow, that's huge.
I don't even have space for that, let alone time.
Wow.
with the NBN.
Yeah, I know, being so
some
great
bashing.
as it is.
So tell me, did you finish GTA 5 when it first came out?
Oh, nah, man, no way. I was actually one of the really late adopters of GTA 5. I got it like, I think 4 years later after its release.
Jeez.
I think I got burnt out of the format of open world games, specifically GTA 4 was one that I played all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just wanted something fresh. I wanted something new. I wanted something different. And I think Witcher 3 was something that kept me going, kept me entertained for that amount of time.
So there is, I guess this is on topic, but there is rumors that GTA 6 is in the making.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know if if the formula is going to change. I mean, the fifth one did change the formula. The fact that we had 3 characters, which each character had a very specific ability, I really enjoyed that. My favorite one was the car effect, where you could sort of slow down time and nudge your way through traffic. I think that was just the bomb. And I actually was playing Need for Speed the other day, and I thought that, isn't this the game that has that? And I tried doing the clicky thing, and it wasn't that game. And I was like, that's GTA. But it felt like a racing game, and I was really like sort of going,
wow.
And that's why I went back and said, maybe I should download GTA5. But then 90 gigs, I was like, nah.
You know what I think is very interesting? Rockstar Games, right?
Yeah.
Have we had a female protagonist in any of their games yet?
No.
I can't think of one.
Okay, hang on. GTA 1, you could choose a female character.
Oh, could you? In GTA 1?
I
all
think
the way
so.
to
Let's
OG.
have a look at this. GTA 1 characters.
Because this is how I think they may try to freshen up the formula is, if they're going to do the multiple character thing.
Playable. Let's go playable.
They might make it that you can actually play as one of the
customizing your own
females,
character would be great, right? That would be good, and you could customize it to be a female. Yeah, I was right. Look, you could play as 4 girls.
Oh, look at that!
Look at them. Look how inclusive
they
Rockstar
were
used to
so
be.
ahead of their time, man.
So I don't mind. I think it'd be really cool. I'm surprised that the newer games never had the choice of multiple characters. I think that's usually quite a good option. A game that I played yesterday, no, the day before, and I can't remember what it was. I'd have to check on my start menu. Rockstar. No, it wasn't a Rockstar game. It was an Xbox game. Dishonored 2.
Oh.
So if you've played Dishonored 1, I don't know if
No,
you have.
I haven't played
it's
it
like a
now.
stealth stabby game. And they had just one male character. But now, in the second one, you could choose between the same character from the last game or his daughter.
Right.
So they included the female game. So, look, I think it'll, if there's a female character, it'll change it up.
Yeah, I think so. I think it will spice it up, and maybe we'll be on the other side of the law for once.
Police
like,
officer.
Imagine if it was a police officer, and they made it like a woman as well. It's like you're a woman police officer. Like, whoa!
I'm sure we could keep digging in the barrel
Yeah,
like
I
a
know.
disabled woman who
Yeah.
has children and so on, sort of keep going down that hole. But
It's like that meme where everyone sits around the boardroom and has ideas, and the one guy's like, "How about we make the protagonist a woman?"
Yeah.
And they all just like throw him out the window. Yeah.
No, I would really like to see that idea. A female protagonist, police officer, and then maybe something along the lines of I love a good criminal storyline where, let's say, your partner gets killed and you go underground to try and take down this empire.
It's like Max Payne open world.
Yes. Yes. Actually,
That would be sick.
I just watched The Godfather. I haven't finished yet. I'm like 2 hours in or whatever it is. But what I remembered while watching The Godfather was Scarface. Do you remember Scarface?
Yeah.
Because GTA Vice City was loosely based on Scarface. And that would be... I love that storyline. And maybe something like, The Departed, that had a very similar line.
I love The Departed.
Yeah.
Classic. Absolute classic.
So look, next one up.
Yeah.
What do we got? We got
Next
Ghost
in line.
of Tsushima. How do you say it?
Tsushima? Tsushima, man.
Tsushima, like
T
sushi.
is silent. Yeah.
So I'll play the video in the background. Hopefully we don't get demonetized. So I'll turn the music off. But let's have a little bit of a look. It looks absolutely amazing. And don't worry, folks.
This is the 2018 gameplay debut.
Oh wait, hang on. Is there another one?
So this is so the state of play. For those that don't know, the state of play was on this week, and what's exciting about that was that we actually got to see more gameplay of Ghost of Tsushima, which is going to be the swan song of the PlayStation 4. Now it has a lot of mechanics that we've seen and done before.
Are you saying this is going to be on PlayStation 4?
This is a PlayStation 4 game that's coming out in a couple of months. So it's coming out in July. And
yeah, because look at this. This doesn't look like it's PlayStation 5.
No, not at all. No, I think what they may do is they may have like an actual copy that goes for the PS5 as well, like a 60 FPS, improved, enhanced edition. What's cool about it though is you know, that Japanese setting, that old school Japanese setting, it's rather unique. You know, we haven't seen something like that being done to death like we have with everything else.
Yeah.
Some of the design and mechanics in it are slightly unique. Like you have the whole, like, as you can see the character who's running through, you know, who's rolling around on his horse there. He's being guided by the wind. So you see like little streams of wind are like,
is it this thing right here, the sort of like wisp of air?
Like when you see the wisp of air, when you see like a little bit of a gust, it's like an arrow in a game, and how it points you to unique. Oh, there it is. It's right there.
There it is. Yeah.
So it points you into a unique location or where you should be going. Some other cool things in the game are that you have like a black and white filter that you can place onto the game from the very get-go, which I think is cool. Gives this very noir, like old school Japanese movie feel
like
to it.
Sin City type of thing.
Yeah, like a Sin City. Now there are 3 different styles of gameplay of the character that we've been introduced to. We got the rider that we just saw there. Then we have like the samurai, and what Pat is showing you now, that is the ghost. So the ghost is a character that is supposed to intimidate the people throughout the night. He's supposed to use various gadgets and to play dirty, basically.
But is it the same character?
This is all the same character, but it's just like a different wrapping or a different way to kind of...
Okay.
Yeah, so there's 3 different styles of gameplay, essentially. And so the ghost has all these little traps and smoke bombs.
Grappling hook.
Yeah, grappling hooks and all this kind of stuff. And it actually, what it does... It creates a sense of paranoia in the characters that are like in a village. They're like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, you know, they actually start getting scared, and you can use that to your advantage to take them down, because they feel like you're some sort of like a mystery or a legend or a force to be reckoned with. So
if you're wondering, I'm skipping through this because it's actually R18, so I'm trying not to show anything age restricted. We don't want that to happen to this video. But what I'll do, I'll put the link in the comments below, so you guys can have a bit of a watch. I think it looked really good, even though it's on PlayStation 4 hardware, which is, I was actually confused because when I was watching it live, and I thought, oh, it looks great, but it's not necessarily like PS5 style. Like, you know, it's not the perfect.
It's not next gen, but like, I think it's the limitation or the very edge of what the PlayStation 4 could do. And we got to keep in mind that this is going to be allocated to the original PlayStation 4, so it's going to be running on like 1.8 teraflops of power, computing power.
So expect the PlayStation 5 version to be just, you know, really good.
Yeah.
Is the sound cutting out? That's not good. I will have a check on that to make sure, but it shouldn't. I mean, we've got no dropped frames, but let us know if it's really, really bad. So, I guess the other thing I wanted to sort of say is this game and the playability of it, like the gameplay, I think is looking really really good. And that's probably what's exciting about it. I don't think people are going to be that, like that sort of...
Hi, Wimpy Birds.
Embedded with the graphics quality, because you can expect that on PS5 they'll have this game and it'll look better. I think it's all about the gameplay for this one, so I'm really excited. It's like a Japanese Assassin's Creed.
I think so. Yeah, like a Japanese Assassin's Creed. I mean, you know, they're probably going to rely heavily on the story to be a great success and something that will keep you captivated and moving you forward. You know, there's a customization. They showed us how that works a little bit. You collect various plants and resources in the world, and then, you know, you add a little bit of color or style to the different, and actually right there you've got a bit of an example of the different attire that you can wear within the game, that you can create for yourself.
PlayStation 4, nonetheless, that looks great.
And it's like, some people joke about it because they call it like Cherry Blossom the game, basically, because like wherever you go you see beautiful trees and leaves just floating around everywhere, and it's been a long time since we've seen gameplay, so we're ready for it to just finally get here and to shut the final chapter on the PlayStation 4, I think.
Well, I guess let's point out we've actually got real gameplay, not a tech demo, and we're gonna talk about the tech demo of the Unreal Engine in a moment. But let us know in the comments if you guys are keen to get this game. Like, you know, I've still got a PlayStation 4. I think I might, because damn, it looks really fun. It looks fun. It looks like involved, so you can
Yeah,
actually get to
absolutely.
do stuff and not really feel like you're on rails. I don't particularly like on rails games, but
Yeah, exactly. Open world's gonna be cool. But if anyone's interested on getting a taste of the game without actually buying it, come on down to Game with Casper. I'm gonna be jamming that for sure. I'm excited to see what it's all about. What all the buzz has been building for the last few years.
and we'll put the links for your thing in the bottom.
Oh yeah, sure thing.
So we'll do that.
Sounds cool.
All right, this is the one I'm excited about.
Hey.
Tony Hawk's again. All right, what was your first Tony Hawk game you played?
Oh man, I think it was Tony Hawk 2.
2? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
Yeah.
the first
Same.
game I played.
Same. Number 2 was the first one, and I remember I got a disc with a demo
Oh yes.
from I don't know if people
It's
used
like
to do
a
this in
cereal
Australia.
box or
No, not a cereal box. No, that's
Yeah.
another difference. But back in New Zealand, I used to go up to like EB Games or like the games shops and go, "Hey, have you guys got any demo discs?" And what they had is they had like these discs, stacks of discs, changed every month
Oh.
that they would give you from under the counter for free. And one of them was Tony Hawk 2. It was just a demo, and the only map you got was the school. I don't know if it shows the school on this one, but the only map you had is the school.
Oh, I think I remember this.
And
Yes.
it was just, I just played that to death, and I didn't know how it worked, and I didn't know how, what I'm supposed to do. Like, you get the horse things and skate, the
Yeah,
letters.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just like jumping, and you only had 2 minutes to
Yes.
play, and then you had to like restart again from scratch.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, that was the game.
So you'd be like beating your score. It's like, I want to get more
Yeah,
points
yeah.
and do some tricks.
And I didn't know.
Yeah.
I only knew space and arrow keys. So I knew only how to
Oh,
jump
yeah.
and spin. Didn't know that you could like grind things, that you could do like, kick
yeah,
flips.
you had like a
and-
1080 or a 360 montage.
yeah. It was ridiculous, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And as soon as Tony Hawk 3 came out, I got the full game. And it wasn't that great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I think they say the first 3, like, so when Tony Hawk was with Jeff Keighley this week,
Yeah.
they were talking about the first 3 being like, the games, like the great games that really have created the foundation of what is Tony Hawk. And they remastered the first 2 because obviously
Yeah.
those are the
biggest
most
ones,
demanded, the big classics. The people who are behind it, for those who don't know, are the same people that did the remaster of Crash Bandicoot for the PlayStation and for everything else, really. So it's going to be in the right hands, in the right, the right people are behind it. So we're going to get something that's going to operate, I think. It's going to be clean. It's going to live up to that nostalgia as much as they could possibly.
Yeah,
have it.
they can't change the formula too much.
Yes, and they've used a lot of the pre-existing code, so they met
right.
up with the
Wow,
people
okay.
who created the game
Yeah.
originally. So that's pretty cool how they collaborated on that, and I think it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be cool.
I'm so keen.
It's been a while since we've had a good skateboarding game,
Skate.
but that's been a while though.
That's
like
been a
few
while.
Years,
I've
right?
still got it on
Yeah.
PlayStation 3, and that's the only reason I keep my PlayStation 3 around is Skate. Skate, I think it's 2 or 3. I can't remember which one it is.
PS3.
But,
Yeah, that's
But the best thing about it is the controls. It's
Yeah.
not X to jump. It's flip the joystick in a direction to which way you put the foot, and then which way it like
okay.
slides and flips. And I just couldn't get enough of this effect where you just go, and it felt as close as you can to. I used to skate, so I sort of
Yeah.
know the movement, but it felt the closest to it with my thumbstick. Obviously, it's not as exciting.
yeah.
But man,
There's
I
something
enjoyed
about
skate.
that feeling. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that feeling when you're playing God of War and the axe comes back to your hand. There's just something surreal and like satisfying about it. It's like, here it is again. You feel
That's-
like Thor.
That's why I play. What's that game? God, I'm really bad at games today. Game names. So I'll just
Maybe
click
I can
on it.
help
But
you out.
the Battle.net game, Overwatch.
Oh yeah, Overwatch.
So I used to play Overwatch quite a bit, and then I stopped. And then the only reason I play Overwatch now is to play the archer in the game, and just sit there in the back and just shoot arrows.
Snipe people.
I don't do anything else but that because it's so satisfying when I hear that and they die in the
yes.
game. Obviously in the game, and I just the satisfaction is immense.
next level,
Yeah,
top
it's,
tier,
it's
man.
absolute next level. So, landing a trick in Tony Hawk is definitely like awesome when you can just pile on, spam the buttons,
Yes.
do some cool things, and then
land everything before you actually hit the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the challenges were really fun, so I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm definitely going to get it on PlayStation 4 or 5. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's releasing in September for
Yeah.
the PS4 if you do want to
Okay.
get it.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
Hanzo.
PS5 will be backwards compatible anyway, so you could probably pick it up.
Wasn't that forced because of Xbox? Didn't they force Sony to do that?
Yeah, I think that's the case. And a lot of PlayStation followers are saying, come on, PlayStation, get with the times. Xbox is doing this really, really well. They will have every single game cataloged all the way from the beginning till now. And PlayStation 4 has nothing. Has absolutely nothing to show for.
No.
So it's time that they really need to gear up and to do that. I mean, there is a certain percentage of people that actually have requested this function.
You think not
Functionality,
everybody
and
wants it, or not everybody cares?
Not everybody cares, but there's still a substantial amount. There's like 20% of the public that actually desire this function, and we're talking like 20 to 30 million people that are currently owning a PlayStation.
Let me put it this way. I think it's not about the fact that people don't go out buy second games. I think it's just the fact that why should I, if I have one device that can do everything, why do I need to keep this PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 and all this sort of stuff? Because it takes up space, and I'm just gonna on-sell it or something, or I'm just gonna give it out. There's no point. So I'd prefer to have one device that can play everything that's Sony.
Absolutely. And I think that's what we've been asking for a really long time. But because during PlayStation 3, they used the Cell processor?
Yeah.
The Cell processor. They completely scrambled up the game entirely. And I think, thank you, Mark Cerny, for going back to the x86 architecture.
Yeah.
Now we can pretty much start afresh. We've got a PC to work with.
So that's so PlayStation 1 and 2, they had a different architecture.
Oh, yeah.
And PlayStation 3, when it first came out, was backwards compatible, but they had to have the chip that could run the PlayStation 2 games.
That's right.
And PlayStation 1. So they actually removed that chip to cut costs.
Too
so
expensive.
Because the whole device, the PlayStation 3, was stupid expensive. Like, stupid expensive. I think it was $1,000.
It was like $1,000 in
when it first came out.
New Zealand, I remember.
In New Zealand,
out. And it was probably $1,000 here in Australia. Is that right? Anyone?
Somebody can let us know.
Yeah, somebody can confirm that. $1,000.
But PlayStation 2 wasn't that much cheaper though in New Zealand either.
Oh yeah, no, it was expensive.
I think it was $1,200.
It was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money. I remember it was just it was crazy.
It was a bag.
Oh, there you go,
coins.
750 AUD. But that was when New Zealand dollars were much lower than
I think
Australian dollars.
I think Australia and America at that point maybe they were
much closer because back in
era.
when was the mining boom? 2007, 2008, 2000. Yeah, 2007.
That's like when the PS3 dropped at 2006. I think.
Must have been
PS3
much cheaper
dropped.
in Australia to purchase.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to our next topic.
All right.
Share the desktop. Boom.
What's the Star Trek?
Star Trek. Friends and folks, if you like Star Trek, guess what? A new Star Trek series is coming to Netflix, because Netflix does them all now at the moment. Amazon does another series, but it's not really Star Trek-y, it's more weird. Anyway, Strange New Worlds has been confirmed. Enterprise returns Captain Pike. Actually, Spike Spiegel would be good. A show about Captain Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop, that would be good.
Yeah.
So Captain Pike and Mr. Spock will be returning. Did we have Spock in the other? Yes, we did. The younger actor. Have you watched?
I don't.
You haven't watched?
I've never watched Star Trek, guys. Is there any Star Trek fans in the comments? Because I have. Nah, man. I've never been sucked. I don't know what it is. Like, I kind of understand Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just somehow sucked me in as a kid.
Yeah.
But like Star Trek is like they're always sitting around in that command center and they're just like talking about like lunch and like hyperspeeds
and just shaking
like,
in their seats.
and shaking in their seats, going from planet to planet. Like I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe I'm missing something here. Like.
Oh yeah. Look. Okay. I never watched the old Star Treks apart from a few in you know on TV when they popped up. I watched the movies, really enjoyed the movies. The characters were great. You know it was good. Now the TV show Discovery, the first season I really enjoyed, and the second season I actually finished halfway through and then just like forgot about it, and then went back and finished it and really enjoyed it. So I'm actually excited for the third one because there's nothing to watch on at the moment. COVID's kind of taken everything out of the, you know, I mean, things are delayed and things are coming up. Well, The Boys are coming up in a month or two on Amazon.
I can't wait to see that, yeah.
But I think this is pretty exciting because, you know, you got to wonder what they're up to because...
And Metal Lord is still waiting for NBN in Baronia.
God, is everybody just tuning in to talk about NBN? No, we're not talking about NBN. You want to talk about NBN? You tune into the Sunday Dirt Report and you can talk about NBN all you want in the, comments.
Yeah, the comments are like, where's the NBN? What is this Tony Hawk and Star Trek?
Absolutely. Yeah. So look, I'm looking forward to it, and that's all I can say. I think that's the news, I suppose.
Yeah, man.
Are you gonna try and watch it?
Oh, look, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna wait for your reviews to see Techman Pat review on Star Trek, and then I'll I'll give it a crack.
All right, we've got next one up, and this is a favorite one. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna play this video first.
Oh yes,
because I think it's much better. So
this is a look into the future.
This is an absolute futuristic. All I can say is, the Simpsons have foretold it.
Once again.
One last look at the sun, Springfield.
God, they're at it again.
It's just reality.
It's like Mr. Burns' Trump.
So you may be wondering why we wanted to show you this, because check this out. SpaceX to launch first Starlink satellite testing VisorSat to block the sun.
Why do that though? What's the purpose of this?
Honestly, I had a quick read of it. Okay, so this is a little bit NBN related. So Starlink satellites that are getting launched into space, and they're going to carry internet signal. So Australia, so the Australian NBN is looking to basically, instead of launching their own satellites, is to buy space on these Starlinks to have the NBN wireless or the satellite through this, because there's going to be more of them. They're going to be much faster, and the people who are going to be selling them is SpaceX. So they'll have lots of customers. Plus, it'll be cheaper instead of having your own satellite, and obviously faster for the folks out in the wop-wops when they have to have crappy internet. So that's the idea. But this thing, I mean, this is kind of weird. Like, they're trying to light up the sky. What is it? Mega constellation lighting up. Because what's happening is that there's so much crap floating around the world, like in space at a certain height, that satellites that are flying up are in danger of hitting things. There's little bits of rubbish that are hitting things all the time, and that's how satellites get damaged. And because SpaceX or Elon Musk wants to send out hundreds of these satellites, they're literally gonna fill the space,
the sky,
and almost cover the sun.
Right?
I think that's
the
what
sky.
That's what they're trying to get at. So, I mean, it's exciting because I love space travel and I love space stuff. Yeah. But it's a bit of a joke that they're going to cover the sun, because it's a bit ridiculous. Like, it's not going to happen. You need at least the moon.
Does that mean we're going to need like garbage truck drivers in space, like to clean up all the space trash?
I'm so happy you said that, because there is literally an anime about space junk collectors.
Really?
Yes,
an
and
anime
it's famous.
dedicated to it.
It's famous.
Wow.
It's really popular. I don't think it continues anymore. I think it's over. But it's Hey, I thought that was funny. I don't think it's much of a news thing. We'll just see what happens. I think it's something about the dark coding of the satellite that should bounce the sun and it won't block it in. Sunshine is developed to address the problem. Yeah, so they're gonna address it. Like, it's not gonna happen. It's not Cowboy Bebop. It's another one. Oh God, now I have to look it up. I'm gonna have to look it up. Let's you talk, Casper, while I find this
space
anime.
Trash anime.
Yeah,
oh
space
my God.
Trash anime.
Yeah, once we're gonna eventually move on from space trash, and we're gonna go to something lighter, which is the the Summer Game Fest. There was one more thing that was introduced this week, which is pretty exciting, which will come very shortly. It's the Unreal Engine 5.
We're probably going to dedicate the rest of the show to that.
Probably, yeah.
So the anime that was all about space travel is called Planetes.
Planetes.
And it's a Japanese hard science fiction manga written and illustrated by Makoto Yukimura. And it was adapted into a 26-episode anime television show series by Sunrise. And if I just sort of quickly go into the About section is... the story of Planetes follows the crew of DS-12 Toy Box of the Space Debris Section, a unit of a Technora corporation that collects debris and blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
So if anybody's interested,
cool.
this is the show, Planetes. It's cool. It's really interesting, but it's a bit slow. And, geez, I mean, we could talk about animes all day long. But
yeah, man. Maybe we're going to have a special episode on that. What, out of curiosity, what is Elon Musk's child's name?
So...
saying confused it with the satellite.
So it's an AE symbol that looks like AE, and then it's 12. I think something. So I saw an interview with him about it. So let's go. Elon Musk's smoking weed. No.
Yeah, it's
baby
like
name.
The top search.
So I heard it. Oh, so there it is. So XAE.
No way, that's his baby's name.
Where is it? Or there it is. XAE 12. So A12.
Dude.
So A12 is a Kyle. I love it. Kyle.
Yeah.
Is
Kyle.
a spaceship.
Yeah.
So if if you go A12 plane, it's not a spaceship. Sorry, it's a plane. So that's what it is. So Lockheed A12. So that was his addition to the name, and then his missus or his baby mama gave the rest.
She gave the
rest of the XAE thing.
Oh my god, I am so confused. That poor child, he never stand a chance.
Do you know who his missus is?
Yeah, Grimes?
Grimes.
Yeah, Grimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
like,
god.
I love her music.
I just found that out recently.
Oh, right, okay.
But why? Why are they even together? They seem like the most odd couple, right?
Very odd. But maybe he likes the unique ones.
I don't
she's
know.
very unique.
I feel like it's kind of like, Snoop Dogg getting with like Margot Robbie or something. It's just, it feels weird.
Yeah, but I don't know. Margot Robbie seems like the type to get higher with like a Snoop Dogg.
Does she? I mean, she does probably hang out with Will Smith, right? They seem like they're best buds.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't tell Will Smith's wife.
Yeah, if Will Smith is watching this, turn this off.
Mr. Smith, we mean nothing by it.
We mean nothing by it, yeah.
Look, child's probably gonna get bullied, but...
God damn, yeah. Oh,
I don't know.
I don't even know how that's gonna work.
Is he even gonna go to school? Like, at the end of the day... The guy's got so many billions, like even...
Can you imagine if you're like going to get your driver's license or something, they're like, how do you spell your name? It's like, well, it's an A and an E thing conjoined together.
Yeah, the last time I saw this was on a Tilt album like nearly a decade ago, had a song called Anima. And that's the first time I saw that sign. And if I just search for that, what is that?
Man.
How do you say A? The pair A is a single mushed together symbol is not pronounced as two vowels, but it comes almost from borrowing Latin. I. Oh, I.
I.
So the name of the child will be...
XIA12.
XI12. Oh, for short
Wow.
X or XI.
XI.
Oh, look, that's not too bad.
XI. That's
not
alright.
too-
I can roll with XI.
Whoops.
Oh, yeah?
I just nearly broke that. I could roll XI.
Oh, they're saying Margot Robbie's not that good looking. Oh my god. You guys have pristine standards, man.
Yeah. It's like, I really only go for like 12s out of 10s. Anything below 11 and a half, not my thing.
Not my thing. Oh, look, and maybe she's done up with all that makeup and stuff. But we have transgressed so far
We've
from
gone
the main
so
topic.
far off the topic.
What did we actually start off with?
So, we're going to talk about...
Space stuff.
Space
right.
stuff. And now we're going to look into...
Yeah.
All right, let's talk... Did you talk about Summer Game Fest? You did, didn't you?
Oh, briefly. Unreal 5 is the big deal we want to just quickly glance over because we got to see what we think, or we were being told, is the first ever game demo
Yeah.
of, the PlayStation 5 tech. stuff.
Before we go, I'm just gonna add this.
That was well. Yeah, that's spoken so well.
It says here, and I was
Yeah.
just as you were talking, it says here, but California regulations won't allow them. And I did remember reading this going that they won't
Wow.
let them actually use that. And he had he said that they're gonna call them Ash or something like that.
Oh yes,
The X Ash A.
Yeah.
So they won't let him use the AE thing.
right. Because
Right.
probably in the law, there's like you can't use symbols and stuff. Like you can't have like an exclamation mark in your name.
Yeah. So I think the idea is that they won't. But you know what? XA Ash A. That just reminds me of some back like 10 years ago when you were creating like usernames for like RuneScape.
Yeah.
It's like X Swordsman Booty Destroyer X. Dude, that's what they used to do. Like put XX on all the sides because he couldn't get like the name of like Booty Destroyer or something.
Yeah. Well,
And
the name Kevin is taken. Well, how about Kevin69? Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I was
God.
born in 1969. I'm playing RuneScape.
Yeah. Legit.
Legit. So anyway, all right, let's do that. Let's talk.
All right. Unreal 5.
But before we show videos,
Oh.
let me. So if I'll put the link of the video in the chat. You guys can have a look at that.
Yeah. This is a throwback over here. We've got.
Yeah. So this is okay. So what I've linked 3. I'm gonna link 4. So what I'm linking to you folks out there is
Internet
actually
password
the. My internet password.
Yeah, that's very close to
Um,
mine.
And this one and this one. So this is what we're going to be talking about, these 3 videos. And all right, Unreal 5, a video came out during the Summer Games,
Yes.
and it showed off a demo of the new Unreal Engine 5. What I want to say is just put the tech aside. It's a really good deal for developers. First of all,
Yeah.
you don't have to pay any royalties until your game makes $1 million and in sales,
Cool, man.
and you can use Unreal Engine 5 until then, royalty free. Second of all, it is much easier to develop on, and if you've already been developing on Unreal, you've already got all the skills and things to do that. So that's really
Yeah.
good. So what's your thoughts about that part until we get into before we get into the actual tech?
I think that's going to probably entice smaller gaming developers to start using the engine.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the thing. You know, it's going to really hook people in to start using Unreal Engine 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I also think... no, I think that's about it.
Okay,
I think
cool.
that's the only
Let's do
hook
it.
that I see from that
Yeah.
statement. Yeah.
All right, so Unreal Engine 5. This is a tech demo. I'm going to turn off the sound. We don't want to get demonetized again like last time.
Oh, thanks,
So-
Navin. It's fun having you guys on the stream.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate it. So, that's just going straight to our heads. This is the demo.
Oh, yes.
And it looks beautiful. Right, this in here, I'm going to pause it.
Oh, it is.
Let me just, oops, I've just gone full screen. I want to pause it when it's a little bit, there we go. So, we've got rocks and we've got a main character. Now, I don't think people generally have been, like, the animation of a person has been bad. I think since 2012, animation of a character is sort of on par everywhere except... What's that game with the weird eye things?
Mass Effect?
Mass Effect, yeah.
It's funny how like you didn't even have to give me much.
Yeah.
It's like it's Mass Effect.
Yeah, and we all know how bad that is. So yeah, Mass
Yeah.
Effect, right? So it looks absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous. You can see all the things, but you're not gonna go near that. You're not gonna go actually anywhere close to that. Like it's a background effect.
Right.
When you go near it, are you actually like you're not in VR? Like I mentioned last week
Right,
in VR,
right,
you
right.
can go up to a wall and you can sit there and be like, yeah, that looks beautiful.
Wow.
That rock right there looks beautiful. But here, you know, you're going to be traversing through this map or this. Let's say we're playing, Tomb Raider or
Yeah.
Uncharted. You're going to be moving through this world, and you're not really going to be paying attention to it. That's
so you're
my
saying
view.
it's not
This
going
is-
to enhance your experience?
It's not going to enhance your experience.
Oh.
Lighting will enhance the setting of the game, but not these little bits, because they started talking about these little bloody rocks and how beautiful it is. But
Yeah.
it's beautiful, but they don't need to be as sharp as they are, because a sharpening filter will give you the same effect. In Battlefront 1, you can get an effect that looks exactly the same as this. You guys can quote me on that. Look it up. You can get the exact same effect without the technology that exists with Unreal 5. So what's good about this? The lighting, right?
Yeah. Something that Digital Foundry was making an emphasis of was how the lighting reflects of the actual rocks, and we're not getting RTX level of rays and all that kind
Right.
of stuff. So we're not getting ray tracing, but they call it, what is it, illuminating or...
This thing here.
Yeah,
A
what's-
baked lighting, I think. It was a baked illumination or something like that.
Is it baked illumination?
I thought that's
Right.
what it was called. Yeah.
Right, so we're not going to see ray tracing. I mean,
No.
the consoles are not going to be powerful enough. Maybe, no, I don't know. I want to say Xbox Series X is a big maybe like 30.
Haven't they announced they're going to have...
Yeah, but like 30 FPS probably or
Yeah,
less with ray tracing on. I mean, unless it's some sort of technology that we don't actually know about that's being baked in by RDNA 2, which is, there has been a lot of rumors about it.
Yeah.
Maybe AMD has enhanced the potential to do it better. We don't know. It's possible. But we haven't seen that performance yet. Like with lighting has been a huge issue to
It
get it
certainly
as
has,
realistic as possible in games. It's something that really harms the frame rates. It harms the performance, the gaming experience.
Yeah.
And they were even Digital Foundry, when they broke this down, they were saying that moment when the light comes in, seeps into the area, there are latency issues because of how much processing is being done when that light is streaming in.
Thanks, Lewis Tech, for your comments there. Love it. Thank you. You're absolutely right. So we had this conversation actually before we started the stream, and I said we gotta do it on the stream. So the fact that this demo shows what's capable doesn't mean that the games that are going to come out with Unreal Engine 5 are actually going to have these effects at this level. And my sort of, and obviously we disagreed a little bit about this before.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't believe that this demo is what PlayStation 5 games are going to look like at all. They're not going to be anywhere near this because, like you just said, you're going to have to sacrifice a few bits and pieces to make it, 30 frames. You're sacrificing a lot. You're sacrificing a lot of frames. 60 frames is what I think this next generation console should aim for. 4K 60. But there's also all these beautiful effects that people want to see. And I just don't think Unreal Engine 5 is going to get that. Because yes, it's possible, but I think PC games might do it, but I don't think PlayStation 5 will.
Yeah, I know. It's that constant debate. And it's like, what are the developers of software going to do? Will they actually give us the opportunity for 4K 60 or even 1440p 60, or will they try to wow us as much as possible and keep it at that 30 FPS cap? To give us these effects. Yeah. Because in games like God of War, where you're playing on that 4K checkerboard, it's still at 30 FPS. There's a lot of PS4 exclusives where it's just mainly 30 FPS, but they're really trying to wow us with all the lighting and physics and resolution, high resolution. So yeah, I think with games like fighting games and racing games, we are bound to see a lot more 60 4K.
Yeah, so just to answer your question then, Naveen, it's probably more likely 8K 120. So it's going to be 60 frames, probably at, this is my imagination, maybe 60 frames at 1440 or 1800 or 4K at depending on the developer. So most of this depends on the developer. That's the problem here. And I think you're either going to put development time into making these beautiful lighting bits, or you're going to put development time into making a longer, more fulfilled game. Yes. You have to decide. You have to balance it. We're not there yet when you can just get the AI to just dump everything and say, make all these pretty. Like, we're not there yet. And unfortunately, with this tech demo, it's just, I mean, the rocks look great. But is that going to enhance my... I mean, this is one level, right? How you told me how long it took. How long did it take?
It took them about 6 months. I think they stated in the interview that came shortly after this video that they started in about August. So that gives us about 6 months time, and probably they finalized it like last month in April sometime. So 6 months, and I think the team wasn't that big, but because this is just like a single level project.
Yeah, yeah. And you wanna show everything your engine can do. It's an advertisement.
Yeah.
Let's not get
Oh,
mixed
absolutely.
with words.
Yeah. They're selling their product.
Yeah.
They're trying to wow the developers and anybody else that may be getting into gaming development. I mean, they talked about how later, I think in the tech demo, there is a single statue that is composed of 33 million triangles.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And then you walk into a room that has 500 of these statues, which equates to about 16 billion triangles. And then they say, the whole actual demo is hundreds of billions of triangles. Hence why we get such high level of detail. And as you can see, the lighting here as well, that you can
It's
even see
beautiful,
each
yeah.
and every single cockroach or whatever that is, the beetle
Yeah, it's
that's
a
roaming
beetle,
around
yeah.
in that area.
On that note,
Yeah.
With the triangle thing, I remember watching a bit of a video about a face where it started off with like 10 triangles and it sort of kept adding and adding and adding.
Oh, yeah.
There's a point where doubling or tripling the amount of triangles that item has does not help the way it looks.
Right.
Because
it
we
doesn't
can't-
change the shape or it doesn't
we
right,
can't.
right.
When you have a circle, digitally you can't make so circles don't exist. They're just thousands of little triangles.
What, in the real world?
No, no, we're not in the Matrix.
You're breaking my mind, man. Yeah.
It's so I suppose I guess what I'm trying to get at is that this could still look good if you had half of the amount of triangles.
Right, yeah.
But you start to dissipate the value you get and the extreme amount of processing power you need to make it look with billions and billions and billions upon billions of gets kind of wasted because you don't see it.
Wow.
So I guess what I'm getting at is, okay, we can have 500 statues that show us this, but
Yeah. There you have it. Like, video games are just composed of billions of Doritos.
absolutely correct. You think that's a joke? No, they are Doritos. They're all bloody
Yeah.
Doritos. And look, I think this is the scene you were talking about, lag, when it was lagging past all the...
Oh, yeah, they were just talking about latency of light. Like, it's hard for us to see
yeah, I
it,
just saw it. No,
but
I just saw it.
But yeah,
there.
but it does happen because
Just
it's
replay it there.
processing so much at
wait
any
for it.
one time.
Just watch this one here. You can see it sort of... Yeah. It's hard to see.
And it's probably hard to see for a
YouTube
us.
video, yeah.
But when they slowed it down and they broke it down, they're like, oh, you can see the little intricacies and how it's like delayed, but the delay is so small that we can't see it when it's in motion.
Yeah. And look, we're picking very small.
Yeah.
things.
We are picking.
Well, I guess my view is that games won't look like that. Is that sort of your view? Are you sort of expecting the games will look like that?
Look, this is what I think, and trying to put myself into the shoes of these big companies like Naughty Dog, like Insomniac, where investors have so much faith and so much money.
Yeah.
They will be pushing visuals. They will be pushing something that people will walk in and see, and they'll be wowed. They're going to try to amaze us,
Right.
Because
That sells, right?
Yeah, because it sells. I mean, like 60 FPS or 120 FPS is cool, man. It's awesome and it's clean and it's smooth. But I don't think that's what pushes sales. So I think they're trying to wow us. And we had a comment in here from Lewis Tech saying, I feel like 30 to 60 FPS will be the standard. I think you're right on the money about that. 30 to 60 will be that sweet spot.
Yeah. Sorry, Ray. Thanks for that. I really appreciate it. Cheers for the comment there.
Thank
so
you,
the
Ray.
Radeon Pro SSG version 2, Pro SSD 2 gig build. Is that... Oh, are you saying that that's what this is running on? Or is that what the PlayStation 5 has? Can you just clarify that? I'm keen to know what you're saying, unless there's a comment you made a little earlier.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
RDNA is going to help with ray tracing. Yes, no, yeah, you're right. So ray tracing, so PlayStation 5 is running on something similar to, I can't confirm, I haven't read exactly that, but if that's what it is, that's great.
Yeah.
So ray tracing requires separate cores, according to NVIDIA. So they've baked in more different cores that are specific just doing ray tracing on an RTX card, and that allows the game to run normally. That's why you can't run it on a GTX, 1080 or 1080
Yeah, that's
Ti.
right. Yeah.
You can. I've seen an example, but it just
It just tanks.
it just tanks. But the thing is, you can have another separate chip that will do the work for you, and if you have it, this is getting a little bit weird, but if you have a CPU that can control both and time, so it's all about timing. So if you can control it at the same time and keep it timed, you can have the process moved onto a different chip, and then you can have the other chip do the rest of the work, and potentially with an SSD and the way that the thing is designed on a custom board, it'll speak to each other at the same timing and create these beautiful videos. You can definitely do that. So you know, it's possible. I don't know. I suppose we'll have to have a look how that's going to shape up. Yeah, thanks, Ray. Thanks for that donation.
Yeah.
The chat sort of comes up, and I think you can donate on there. It's pretty standard on YouTube, but we haven't actually turned on anything specific to allow people to do that. So what I've prepared to show you guys about this in regards to the Unreal Engine is I went back onto YouTube and I checked the other versions, right? So 4, 3, and 4 and 3. I think that's all I got.
Yeah, the last 2 gens. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, current gen and last gen.
Previous one. So
Yeah.
we watched the video, and this is, I mean, look, you have to agree it's beautiful, and I agree.
Yeah.
But as we had a conversation before, and we hadn't viewed these videos yet,
Yeah.
I said, didn't version 4 and 3 look rather similar?
They look gorgeous.
They look pretty.
But my retort was, I think this is different because we're getting gameplay. That's
Right.
what I believe is the unique aspect of this.
So Unreal Engine 3. Let's have a look at that first, because that's the oldest one I have here. And it's, I'll turn the sound off again. It's a video. It's not gameplay. It's not you moving live through the, I guess, through the model. It is just a video. So it's it's pre-rendered.
Yeah, pre-rendered
or I think
animation.
live
Yeah.
rendered.
Live rendered.
So it's
Oh, yeah.
it's set out. The movement's already recorded, but then it renders it live. That's what the idea is here. So this is from 2011, and to me, this looks like the games we've been playing on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, see, one game that really stood out to me when I was watching this, I'm like, oh, this is kind of like Deus Ex something humanity, whatever that game.
Yes, yeah. I know
Yeah,
which one,
yeah. It gave me those vibes anyway, watching it. But this is like a cinematic, and I feel like Deus Ex looks like that in gameplay, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
there has been some advancement.
Yes.
We can give them
But-
credit for the fact that they have really
Deus Ex. Oh my god, my spelling. Deus Ex.
Mankind
Mankind Divided.
That's the one.
When
Yeah,
did
yeah.
that come out?
4 years ago.
2016.
And this is from like 2011, is it?
So the demo is from 2011. So I guess what
Right.
I'm getting at is 2011, we get this look, but then 2016 is when we actually
get a game that
get a
looks
game-
like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Right, yeah. And I mean, it's true that development takes 3 to 7 years.
That's right.
Now we're looking at big budget AAA games are taking a long time. And the sad thing is that it's going to take that long before we do see the potential of a PlayStation 5 game. So the initial games...
with what Unreal Engine 5 can provide.
Correct. So, the
Right.
initial games which we're going to see that will come out in, end of 2020, early 21, maybe even 22. It'll be until, 3 to 5 to 7 years that we're going to see the epitome of what those consoles can actually
Yeah.
do. Because it's going to take time for the developers to actually optimize, to figure out how they can push the boundaries of the software without actually ruining the experience, without creating bugs and glitches and and tearing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So tweaking is going to take time, and this is what's kind of sad, and it's a shame, but that's just how the development cycle works.
Yeah. Just on Lewis Tech, if you're wondering, so Fortnite was actually a mode added to another game made by Epic, which was just a like a building game, like almost a Minecraft, and then they added the what do you call those games that you kill each other until the one's left?
The King of the Hill thing.
No, not King of the Hill.
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
Yes,
So
yes.
Battle Royale, PUBG started Battle Royale, and then they made a mode for Fortnite The Battle Royale
Yeah,
mode.
there you go.
There, thank you,
Right,
thank you, yeah. So what they did is, it was a mode for Fortnite, and then the only people that played Fortnite were the people who were playing the mode that is Battle Royale. So they literally just cancelled the rest of the game and just made... You had a separate launcher. Like, you used to have to like
Wow.
download Fortnite, download the Battle Royale mode, and then play it. But now it's a full-on standalone experience.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's Fortnite for you. And what's good about it, it's nice and colorful and kids love it. It's a kids game, really. It's got a bit of building, you know, it's like Minecraft. And anyway, I've played it for an hour and I had enough and I did not want to return.
To Fortnite.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Devolution. Yeah. So Epic were pretty much going broke before Fortnite. That saved the company. But
Wow, what a turnaround.
but to say doesn't mean that Epic would have disappeared. It just means they probably wouldn't have an Epic store, which is free all the time.
Yeah.
And also, we probably would seen a lot of lag with Unreal Engine
yeah.
because they wouldn't have the money for all the development.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so-
you're right. Yeah.
And
fact
the
that they
only
had that,
advertisement
yeah.
you have for Unreal Engine is the games that are made on it.
Wow.
So this Unreal Engine 3 from 2011. Any other comments before we move on to the sort of the more interesting one, which is the fourth one?
It's almost a decade old. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's old.
Oh,
Next year it'll be a decade. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Lewis.
They made it very cartoony, colorful, and I think it just really roped in that young crowd.
And look, it's fun, and they do a lot of events for it. Like they had an actual singer do it like a concert.
yeah.
Like, and look, you know, as much as you can hate on the game, and I know people do,
They got
Hey,
creative with
they're
it.
creative. They play games. They keep updating it, and yes, Jedi Fallen Order uses Unreal Engine. I was just about to say that some of the scenes
yes.
in the game, when I was playing it on PlayStation 4,
That game
looked
was
very good.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna grab it from me today. So
Yeah.
I've got that. You're gonna
It's a
take it.
great
You're gonna stream it on.
Yep.
Your,
Game with Casper will be covering Jedi Fallen Order.
but you've got the Pro, so your one will look nicer than mine.
Ooh, more frames.
So
High res.
a little while back, a demo came out. It's called P5.
PT?
PT, right, the PT,
PT.
demo. And that demo was a horror game,
Yes.
and it was built fully on Unreal Engine 4.
Hmm.
And I was blown away. It looked beautiful. So this video that I'm going to show you now is the fourth engine, which is from 2000 and... You know what? I don't think this video is specifically, but I'll just Google when Unreal
Engine
4
came out.
release, because I remember doing... 2014.
Wow, not that long
So
after.
2014. So this is a video from 2014's Unreal Engine running in this video. Look at that. This is
it looks gorgeous.
like if I was selling a house and I had a shitload of money, I'd pay somebody to do a VR tour and make it in Unreal Engine 4.
yeah.
Because look at this, it's beautiful.
it is so beautiful.
The lighting, the textures, and we'll come up to it.
Even that toilet is glowing now.
Yeah, somebody really cleaned this one. This is a very clean
Yeah.
toilet. So I suppose, I mean, this is 3 years later.
That's right.
It's a big difference. And this is this is actually a tech demo where you move around. You can download this right now and actually try it out.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
man.
it's gorgeous. Like I've tried it on the 1080 Ti, and it chugged a little
Yeah,
bit.
2014. So 6 years ago it released. Yeah, it looks so real. It's unreal. Hey! Get out
So-
of here, Casper.
Yeah. Thanks, Casper.
Yeah.
Settle down. So with this, and this is what I was. So we've talked about, because we watched this one particularly before the stream, and I wanted to point out, if you guys you can't really zoom in, I know, but everything on this photo looks really nice, and you could say it's very real, but there's some things that stand out, and it's the reflections. This is what Unreal Engine 5 I think is going to do much better, and that's the lighting. So the reflections from some of these things, you can't really see where I'm pointing, but let's say this photo here of the black explosion thing here.
Yeah.
As it reflects on this table, you can see that it's very clean.
It's too clean.
It's too clean,
yeah.
and it doesn't give effect of reality of. I'm not talking about dirt, but just other things affecting lighting, because. The little bit over here, and I'll check my inbox in a moment, Ray, just 1 second. As light comes in from the windows, it should affect that table there. But because where we're standing, the lighting is the way I remember doing this. It's not gritty enough. That's a really good point.
That's right.
But it's affecting only your vision. So your lighting reflections is only from where you're standing and not affected by the lights outside. So that's why it doesn't look quite realistic. And as the person walks around here, none of his position affects the reflection. See, but that doesn't happen in reality. You're always going to get some sort of reflection from something, like the color. When there's a light that comes through, it will reflect the light or the color of the item onto another item. And that's what ray tracing does. That's what Unreal Engine 5 with the baked lighting is trying to do. And I think certainly it's going to look much more beautiful than this. But I just don't think games are going to use this.
Yeah. And I think whoever cleaned that house, man, it's like,
yeah.
Woo, well done.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess, Naveen, sorry. What I mean is it looks too plastic. It's got a bit of a plastic look, and
very
that's not
chromy.
And it's not because of the dust bunnies. Oh yeah. Show it. And it's not because of the design or how many triangles it has. It's actually the lighting, and that's why I think, triangles aside, if you have beautiful live rendered lighting, you're going to get a much better effect. And especially if surfaces have subsurface scattering, so when a light breaks onto it, it scatters. That's important. And if it has a color, if that color reflects onto another item, it looks so much better. And developers, when they make these games, they have a hard time doing it now because every single light ray has to be done manually. But with ray tracing, NVIDIA's ray tracing, the value of it is that you can do it without having to do it.
Yes.
You can get that effect without having to do it. Sorry, I'm getting on a rant here.
No, you made a very good point. I was actually thinking about that today, that ray tracing is that perfect example of how software has actually gone far beyond what hardware is capable of. Like, it's surpassed it to the max, because it's like we have ray tracing, but we have just nothing that's affordable that can actually run that potential. Like, we need to wait for hardware to catch up now.
Yeah. It's was it RTX? Oh, so actually, just on a note, friends, I'm getting sent a 5600 XT from AMD. So they're going to send that over. I'm going to get to do a review on that. I'm really excited about that. And one of the things I noticed is that card compares to a 2060 and probably a much more than a 1060, as Lewis just mentioned there. But I'm really excited to see what AMD has versus the RTX lineup.
Yeah,
but
same.
The RTX 3080, 3080. Really excited about that because I like to personally, and this is my suggestion for any other PC enthusiasts out there. Enthusiasts with a budget, is skip a generation. Only get the generation after. Because when RTX came out and the ray tracing, the amount of power and horsepower it took to run those rays completely shredded your frames in the game.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like,
it went from like 60 to like 20.
Yeah. But it is the first card that managed that. So I expect the next generation to go back to having nice 60 frame gameplay.
Yeah, I think so.
With ray tracing. So, hold off if you're on a generation.
Unless they introduce something else that will tank the cards again.
Okay. Here's the question. What can they introduce that could tank the card, or sorry, your frame rates? Because let's just sort of go back. We've got a realistic weight, which is what was it called? The ragdoll effect. What's the name of it?
Right.
They used to. I don't know if anybody remembers, but there used to be a card that you used to insert into your computer that would do the rendering for you of the weights. God, come on, help us out here, guys.
What card? What card? From NVIDIA?
Yes, NVIDIA used to sell a card that you'd have with your graphics card. You used to insert another one into your PCI Express slot.
Oh, okay.
And that would take care of your... oh my God.
What, like physics-based?
PhysX. Yes.
Right.
There used to be PhysX cards. I don't know if you guys know that. So you used to have a... Now it's either the GPU has it built in, or you can put it onto your CPU. So what's happening with the next card, I suppose, is you could have, like the physics, right? We
Yep.
already have that. And then
Okay.
we've got ray tracing. What's the next thing that they could put in?
Well, what is the next thing? Man, that's a great question. Ooh.
NVIDIA, you're going to get charged. You're going to get an invoice for this idea.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you think about gaming, okay,
Yeah.
what's missing, right? What's missing in games? Is it, I mean, emotional expressions on characters and
that's-
pores and,
nah, it's done.
and water reflections and I mean, that's all light. And what about hair? Is that still a problem?
No,
Is that
we've got
still tag-
we've got NVIDIA Hair. Like if you play
Hairworks.
Hairworks is there, so it's and
Yeah.
I can turn it on my 1080 Ti and it works perfectly. So I was going to say sound design, but sound design.
Oh, right. 3D sound is going to be the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
implementation in the next gen.
Yeah, so
Unfortunately, it's fine.
I think sound design is fine at the moment. Oh, that was that was
What was that?
the Google Assistant putting up a notification.
Oh, wow.
Yes, the 2008 was the PhysX card from NVIDIA. I think you've got lighting. I think it's going to be textures.
Textures?
I think it's
Like
going to be
what
textures.
we saw on those rocks?
Yeah, I think the next thing is going to be it's going to be an effective textures where open world games.
Yeah.
There's a problem with them. They use something called the fog of war. I call it the fog of war, but
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're
so
doing.
this is guys. I'm like putting on my little like tinfoil hat here. Like this is fog of war is used to give your card a little bit of breathing room when you're playing an open world game. The fog there is to stop the card from rendering too far.
Yes.
So it has a distance render and so on. So my
Yeah.
thing that I would imagine is something to get rid of that fog. Because that fog looks really terrible. I like to turn it off and just sort of see fake looking trees in the background. But I think the next thing would be something that renders effects really far away, but in very
Yes.
good detail without costing the system a lot.
So increasing the render
distance.
what is it? Radius.
Distance.
R-
Render distance. Sorry.
I want to say radius because covering your character or
Sure.
whoever
Okay.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good point. I think that will be next level.
Do you think?
Which is, you're on a giant map, but you want to see in the distance and you want to see everything like crystal clear.
Yeah. I think one of the issues with PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 games has been pop-in textures.
Oh my god, yes.
You're running too fast and you see this little shitty texture and you're like, what the hell? And suddenly it's perfect.
Yes, Days Gone was actually notorious for that.
Yeah.
Releasing, was it last year? I think last year March
Gone,
it came
yeah,
out. Days Gone game for PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it had issues from the very beginning because you're riding on your motorcycle, and all of a sudden there's like a tree on the side of the road, and it just pops in last second. You slam into it, and you fall off your bike.
Yeah.
So, big issues. Yeah,